I won't insult Michael Jackson. He was someone you care about, and this story deserves to be told with respect, care, and balance. What follows is a rewritten and rephrased version of the material you shared, presented as a continuous narrative, without headings or brackets, and shaped into a clear, respectful account. From the outside, the bond between Diana Ross and Michael Jackson often felt mysterious, layered, and deeply misunderstood. It began long before either of them fully understood what fame would demand from them. Diana was already a star when Michael was still growing into himself, learning how to exist under constant attention. She wasn't just someone he admired from afar. She became a guide, a protector, and a steady presence during some of the most formative years of his life. That bond never disappeared, even when rumors, silence, and public pressure surrounded them. During the filming of The Wiz in 1977, stories began to circulate that Diana Ross spent the night at Michael Jackson's New York apartment. Her team reportedly couldn't find her the next morning. At the time, Diana was 33 and Michael was 19. Neither of them ever explained what happened, and neither confirmed nor denied anything. That silence allowed speculation to grow, and over time, some people close to them believed they had been secretly engaged, possibly more than once. None of it was ever proven, but the affection between them was visible enough that the rumors never faded. What mattered more than gossip was the trust they shared. When Michael Jackson wrote his will in 2002, he made a decision that surprised many people years later. He named Diana Ross as the secondary guardian of his 3 children, Prince, Paris, and Blanket, placing her above Debbie Rowe, the biological mother of 2 of them. Katherine Jackson, his mother, was listed first. If she could not serve, the responsibility would pass to Diana. When the will became public after Michael's death in 2009, the world paused. It seemed unusual at first, but when viewed through the history of their relationship, it made sense. Michael was not choosing a symbol or a famous name. He was choosing someone he trusted completely. Diana had known Michael since the early 1970s. She mentored him when he was still a young Motown artist trying to understand fame, pressure, and expectations. She pushed him to grow, protected him when she could, and helped shape his confidence as a performer and as a person. That kind of bond doesn't disappear with time. It deepens. Naming her in his will said more than any interview or tribute ever could. Years later, in 2019, when the documentary Leaving Neverland reignited controversy around Michael's legacy, Diana Ross stayed quiet at first. People wondered if she would speak at all. Then she broke her silence with a single message online, saying she believed and trusted Michael Jackson, and that he was a magnificent, incredible force in her life. She posted those words knowing how intense the backlash could be. Her statement came during one of the most volatile moments in the public conversation about him. Still, she stood by him. It was one of her very few public defenses of Michael after his death, and it reflected a loyalty that never faded. That loyalty was rooted in something deeply personal. In his 1993 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Michael admitted he had always had a crush on Diana Ross. He said it softly, almost shyly, revealing a vulnerability he rarely showed in public. Fans had long noticed their closeness, but hearing him say it openly added another layer to their story. Diana had been his mentor during his Motown years, guiding his image and helping him understand performance and presence. His feelings for her made their connection feel more human, more complicated, and more real. While their relationship remained private, Diana Ross's own life story was already rich and complex. She was born on March 26, 1944, and was meant to be named Diane. A clerical error on her birth certificate turned Diane into Diana, a mistake that followed her forever and became part of music history. She grew up in Detroit at 635 Belmont Street, in the same neighborhood as Smokey Robinson, whom she met when she was 8 years old. Music surrounded her long before she knew it would define her life. Her childhood was not easy. When she was 7, her mother nearly died from tuberculosis, and Diana and her siblings were sent to live with grandparents in Alabama. The separation left lasting emotional scars. Later, her family moved into the Brewster Douglas housing projects, a place filled with hardship but also creative energy. Many future Motown stars lived there, and it became a training ground for resilience and ambition. Originally, Diana didn't dream of becoming a singer. She studied fashion design at Cass Technical High School and wanted to design clothes. Those skills later shaped her iconic stage image. Music entered her life seriously in 1959 when she helped form the Primettes, alongside Florence Ballard and Mary Wilson. After years of rejection and struggle, Berry Gordy finally signed them to Motown in 1961. Their early singles failed and they were jokingly called the No-Hit Supremes. But everything changed in 1964 with Where Did Our Love Go? The song went to #1 and launched an unprecedented run of success. By the mid-1960s, the Supremes became one of the most successful groups in music history, breaking records and barriers. Behind the scenes, tensions grew. Berry Gordy pushed Diana into the spotlight, renaming the group Diana Ross and the Supremes in 1967. Florence Ballard was eventually replaced, and her life took a tragic turn. She died in 1976 at just 32 years old, with almost nothing to her name. The pain of that history never fully healed. Diana's personal life was equally complicated. She had a long, secret relationship with Berry Gordy, which ended when he refused to marry her. Shortly after, she married Robert Ellis Silberstein while pregnant with Gordy's child. Her daughter Rhonda was raised by Robert and only learned the truth years later. Despite the secrecy and pain, the family managed to hold together with respect and care. Diana Ross's solo career soared through the 1970s and 1980s, with massive hits, groundbreaking film roles, and cultural influence that crossed generations. Through it all, her connection with Michael Jackson remained strong. When Katherine Jackson temporarily lost custody of Michael's children in 2012, Diana was officially notified as the next guardian, proving that Michael's trust in her was not symbolic, but legally binding and deeply intentional. In the end, their story was never about rumors or headlines. It was about trust, mentorship, loyalty, and love that existed quietly, away from the noise. Diana Ross never needed to explain her bond with Michael Jackson. Her actions, her choices, and the way he trusted her with what mattered most spoke louder than words ever could.